I have been holding on to a really, really big secret, and y'all know how bad I am at doing that. I was selected to be given a machine by Singer Sewing Company for a project that they're doing for Black History Month featuring artists, sewists, and Black creators. And when I tell y'all that I am shook because it just arrived and I can finally show y'all what I have been waiting on. Okay, let me go get it. And if you see me looking at two cameras, it's because I am looking at two cameras. I'm filming for Instagram and YouTube because this unboxing is monumental. Okay, let me go get it. Look at her. Actually, let me not assume it's gender. Look at this beautiful creature. I'm so excited. Just so y'all know, you are literally seeing this opened before my husband, who has been blowing up my phone like, let me see your new baby. Okay, now it's time for the machine itself. I am going to try, oh, I can remove this plastic. Perfect. It's beautiful. It's, okay. So gentle. Oh, it's heavy. Oh, give me a moment. I took off the other arm so that I could show you this. Here is the ruler I was talking about. But like, look at all of these stitches. Oh my gosh, is it not going to focus? Please focus. There we go. Oh my gosh, it even does lettering. I am shook right now. Also, look at this. There's a little place for me to keep my thread. It looks like I could do embroidery, and there's an actual like LCD screen. Is that an automatic buttonhole button? I really need to check out the manual and check out all their videos that they have online because there are so many features that I am so excited to play with. I just wanted to thank the Singer Sewing Company for sending me the Quantum Stylist 9960. All right, we got the amazing sewing machine. Now we need an amazing outfit to go with it. I've been wanting to make a Gunne Sax dress for a really long time, but haven't really found the right motivation to get it started. I mean, the 70s is not typically where we spend a lot of time costuming, so like, the thing about Gunne Sax dresses is that the details make it. And when I had to hand sew those details, I was not about that. But with the sewing machine, I don't have to do that. Whenever I'm doing a big sewing project or I want to get something done quickly, I like to cut everything out at once and pin everything together. Literally all of the details get pinned onto the outfit, so then I can just sew and enjoy the process of sewing. And that's exactly what I did with this. I went with a really, really simple pattern, literally only measured how much space there was from the top of my neck to my waistline in the back, and that's it. The bodice itself is just loosely formed off of the idea of a tank top that stops at my waist. The sleeves are just giant rectangles, and the skirt is also a rectangle with a thinner rectangle around the bottom. There are a lot of cool stitches on this machine, so I knew I wanted to place down some ribbon and have stitches go over the top of that for the bodice. I also initially wanted cuffs, but I decided to not add those, even though I cut them out and I added some lace to them. I wanted something really simple in the style of Gunne Sax, so I just went with lace around the sleeves that were pleated. Gunne Sax dresses typically had a gathered waistline, but I didn't really feel like doing that because I'm using a pretty heavyweight linen. Not a pro, but I do have a tip. This linen is literally upholstery fabric. It's great and I love it. The embroidered lace piece that you see on the back was a curtain that I found at the donation site that we frequent that's actually going to be at the end of this video. I try not to use curtains because, you know, like, I'm a poor person and I've had to buy my curtains at donation reuse sites, Goodwill, Salvation Army. However, this was just one curtain. The other curtain, I guess, had already been taken, so I didn't feel as bad taking this for fabric purposes. There were a lot of different features with this machine that I discovered as I went and just remained shook about. Or shooketh, as the historical term would dictate. The machine cuts its own thread, and you wouldn't think that that would cut down on sewing time a lot, but it does. It cuts down on it so much, not having to search for scissors every time you get to the end of whatever you're sewing. Mind-blowing. The machine also let me know when I was out of thread, a thing that if you sew, you know can be painful. I believe this machine also self-threads, but I did not really look into that because I was having way too much fun playing with all the different settings. That's an adventure for tomorrow's Muse. Not literally like tomorrow's Muse, but like future Muse. Yeah. For the pleating of the skirt, I wanted something that felt very modern, new school-ish mixed with, you know, like old school true Gunne Sax. So the very front panel of the skirt is flat, and so is the back panel. There's more flatness in the back. I have the rump to make up for it. And then on the sides, they are pleated towards those side seams. The same thing is happening at the very bottom of the skirt. That is the thinner rectangle. It is flat in the very front, flat in the very back, and then on the sides, it is pleated towards those side seams. This surprisingly took me a lot longer to get right than I thought it would, and I had to unpleat and repleat this probably like 10 times. And yes, I was using the trick of starting and finishing at the same time to meet in the middle, and I don't know what was going on, but I got it done. Some of this is not finished, so I did use a very, very small zigzag stitch just to make sure that doesn't unravel in the wash or through wear or anything like that. The last thing that I needed to do was to complete those cuffs on both of those sleeves because they were just giant rectangles. I used rolled hems a lot here. This was my first time using a like rolled hem foot, and I'm never going back. I'm never going back. It was amazing. I pleated the cuff just at the top so that it would give extra bulk to the top of the arm, and then I kept it flat on the bottom just so when I rest my arms or when I'm picking up the baby, it's not too much bulk. And then after I sewed down those pleats, I went ahead and I added that crocheted beautiful lace right around the edges. There is a lot of little details in this dress, from the ribbon around the beautiful like lace back to the ribbon around the very duster ruffle part of the skirt to the little cute leaves all along the very front in a different color brown. It is just so pretty. And y'all know that I don't get too like girly. Despite wearing gowns, I don't really get too girly on here. But sometimes you need the frill. You know what I mean? Singer gave this absolutely amazing opportunity to me, and I thought, why not give that opportunity to someone else? I donated 2 of our machines. One is our embroidery machine, and the other is our sewing machine. At this point in our lives, we really don't do much heavy embroidery, and any embroidery that we would want to do, this Singer Quantum Stylist 9960 does it for us. The sewing machine was one that I found at a donation reuse site, so I definitely wanted to pass that on. The embroidery machine was bought new probably 5 or 6 years ago at this point. And it's an amazing machine, but if we're not getting use out of it, it could definitely go to the hands of someone who could get use out of it. So let me explain the donation site a little bit, but don't worry, I'll also explain it once we get there. This is a pay what you can donation site, meaning that if you have no means to get started sewing or to expand the sewing that you are already doing, if you have no capital to do that, you don't have to pay for the machine. I always try to leave something because I know that this is a hobby for me, quite frankly. I know that there are people out there who are using these resources who are not as fortunate as I am, even though I am TM poor. There's still people that are less fortunate than me, and I want to make sure that they can have access to all the amazing programs that this site uses. So first, let's see the dress, and then let's take a trip. We really wanted to be able to give back because we had the opportunity to get this machine from here. So we thought that we would donate 2 of our machines, our embroidery machine and our sewing machine. They both work. They have the foot pedal and bobbins and all that jazz.
All the bells and whistles.
All that jazz, yeah.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So let me tell you a little bit about Turnip Green Reuse. It is absolutely amazing. We love going to this location, and we've gone to this location for a lot of things. This is where we got the stuff for your jacket, right?
Yes.
This
jacket.
specific jacket. This next section is where we find our most love. There are trims, there are dead stock zippers, there are buttons, there's
Lace,
fabric, there's lace, there's bobbins, there's
all the things.
So many things. There is also a ton of patterns. We typically don't use the patterns here, but there are some amazing vintage patterns, and I should probably stop talking and just show y'all. So here are some of the amazing vintage patterns that you can get here. There is some binding tape right here, different strings, shoulder pads, an entire drawer, pins and needles, zippers, tons of zippers, more sewing stuff, buckles, hooks and eyes, trim galore. This is actually where we got a lot of the different stuff for my Edwardian lingerie dress and for Dionysus's Edwardian suit. As you can see, there's a whole bucket of lace being very enticing. Here are some of the knitting needles. There are embroidery hoops, ton of different threads, and ton of different yarns. And then you can see their threads over here. And there are some that are on wooden spools. It's really, really pretty to look at. Now we have to show you where the magic happens. The fabric section. Are you ready? Cool. I love how well organized all of this fabric is. It makes it so easy to navigate. The baby is living his best little baby life right now. And a lot of these pieces are quite large and make it very, very easy to know how much you are getting. There are a ton of different colors, and there's even white, so if you don't find exactly what you're looking for, you can dye it. But wait, there's even more.
So the room behind me is actually a workroom that they have that they can rent out or use. So if you need a studio space, this location specifically has one, and the one close to you may also have a spot where you can be creative.
They also use this space to host classes. This is even where I came when I wanted to get stuff to redo Dionysus's sewing room. If you can see right over here, there is some pegboard that they've now put up, but previously was available for people to take. This is the perfect place to give back to when you yourself might not have a lot to give, and we are certainly not rich, but we are fortunate enough to be able to give back to this location. And I knew that these sewing machines would find a very good owner soon. On top of all of this, on top of the classes, on top of the buy nothing donation type system, they also love to feature BIPOC artists and queer artists. All of the information for Turnip Green is going to be linked down below. This is one of a few different sites that we love going to, and we found a lot of joy in going through all of the different amazing items they have. All right, we are heading out. Until next time.
Until next time.
Bye.